Excuse me, but who are you?
Professor Hedwig, keeper of the mobile X-ray keys and the grounds here at the Hog Roast School of Wizardry and Roentgenology. You know all about hog roast, of course.
Sorry, I don't.
No? Blimey, Harry! Didn't you ever wonder how your mum and dad learned it all?
Learned what?
You're a radiographer, Harry. Ain't that right, Gobby?
It is indeed, Professor Hedwig.
I what?
A radiographer! A mobile and theatres radiographer, Harry. And a thumping good one, I'd wager, once you're trained up a little. Look, here's your letter of acceptance. Dear Master Trotter, we are pleased to inform you that you have a place at the Hog Roast School of Wizardry and Roentgenology. Please find enclosed a list of all necessary books and equipment. Term begins on the 1st of September. We await your radiation dose badge, which we should receive no later than the 31st of July. Yours sincerely, Professor Dirty Spotty Bottom, Deputy Headmistress.
No, you've made a mistake. I can't be a radiographer.
Well, just Harry, have you ever wondered about all those markers and legends on your forehead?
What markings?
Look.
My word! Look at them!
Typical. That bonehead Lord Mouldiwort has put the wrong side anatomical marker on you, Harry.
Who's Lord Mouldiwort?
Well, you see, Harry, Lord Mouldiwort was once a quite brilliant radiographer here at Hog Roast. But he decided to go over to the dark side. A side darker than any X-ray room, Harry. He became a superintendent radiographer.
A what?
A superintendent radiographer, Harry. One of them Band 7 managerial type radiographers. Always bossing other people around. My word, Harry. The power went right to his head. He thought he was a cut above everyone else, he did.
What happened?
What happened was, he set up his own school of radiography, Harry. And a poor quality one at that. Full of muggles.
What are muggles?
Muggles are people who shouldn't be working in radiography, Harry, or any other profession.
That's right, Gobby. They don't have the right qualities. They don't have the 6 C's, Harry.
What are the 6 C's?
The 6 C's are essential qualities that all good radiographers should have. Care, compassion, commitment, competence, and communication. Without these qualities, Harry, you are doomed.
That's right. You become nothing more than an empty, emotionless shell or in the corridors of the X-ray department, making patients miserable and unhappy.
Oh, that does not sound nice.
You see, Harry, you have the 6 C's in abundance. You'll make a fantastic radiographer, just like your mum and dad. We need people like you, Harry, to help battle the forces of darkness created by Lord Mouldiwort, to help make our hospitals happier and safer places.
Okay, what does a radiographer do?
A radiographer, Harry, gets to perform the greatest magic of all. A special kind of magic. A powerful and life-changing magic, Harry. A magic that allows you to see inside someone's body to find out what's wrong with them. They use a lovely bit of magic equipment known as an X-ray machine, though I prefer to call it a magical bone-seeing machine. Marvel at that, Harry.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
It is, Harry. It has changed the lives of many people, and we need people like you with those special qualities to use this special kind of magic for the greater good.
Well, what do you think, Harry? Are you up for the challenge?
Yes, count me in.
Splendid, splendid, Harry. Now we're a bit behind schedule. Best be off and get you all kitted out, Harry. Unless you'd rather stay, of course.
Hello, my name is Peter Walker-Birch with the final video podcast for Clinical Placement 1. Final. I have to say that I'm more than a little sad to be saying that, especially given the huge amount of fun that I have had over the last few months creating these podcasts for you. I certainly hope that you've had just as much fun too, especially with the quizzes. I know that Alexander has enjoyed himself too, especially with this particular video podcast. I have to say it's been a real hoot putting this together over the weekend, and it was just as much fun as Mark and I had when we did the Professionals podcast a couple of weeks ago. So I hope you enjoyed the Harry Potter styled introduction to this video podcast. Now, the Harry Potter themed podcast was a specific request from Erin. I have to be honest and say that I don't know that much about Harry Potter. I haven't even read the books yet. I'm more of a sci-fi type person, if truth be told, especially the works of the late, great Philip K. Dick, with Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep being a particular favourite of mine, a classic in fact, and a book that the 1982 film Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford, was based on. So I've had to rely really on Alexander to point me in the right direction for this particular video podcast. I even sat down with him a couple of days ago to watch the first Harry Potter film all the way through. Which I have never ever done before, believe it or not, just to get a feel for it so that we could produce this podcast for you. That said, my lovely daughter Alice has been less than impressed with me over the last few months, I have to say. She thinks that I'm a raving idiot, bringing shame and embarrassment on the Walker-Birch name. She even walked out of the kitchen during the family premiere of this particular video podcast in disgust. My word. Sorry, Alice. Never mind. You can't win them all. I think that I will be pointing Alice in the direction of that wonderful Philip Larkin poem entitled This Be the Verse, which I think really aptly sums up the effect that parents really have in the lives of their offspring, at least when they hit the teenage years. Anyway, enough of me wittering on. Firstly, I wanted to remind you about the end of Clinical Placement 1 meeting that takes place this Friday, the 26th of September, between 10 and 12 in H 0.49. You'll need to bring in your original signed copies of your clinical competencies. Make sure that you get a photocopy for your own records, and they can be placed inside your portfolio. Remember to bring your portfolios too, so that we can have a look at them. If you have not managed to get all your competencies signed off, for example, because you have time to make up, we can arrange a short extension. So don't worry. We can discuss this more on Friday should we need to. I will also be asking you to evaluate the Clinical Placement 1 module on Friday too. So if you could put your thinking caps on, please. I'll be getting you to think about any positive aspects of the module, any negative aspects, and any suggestions for improvement. I'll also be asking you to evaluate the video podcasts too, if you don't mind. This is the first year that I have actually done these video podcasts, and I'm keen to find out what you really thought of them and what suggestions you may have to make them more useful in the future. Dr. Philip Cosson will also be speaking with you for the first hour on potential research ideas to take forward for your research proposal module that starts in February 2015. Now, this might seem like an age away at the moment, but the time soon flies, as you probably gathered. So it's sort of best to start seriously thinking now about viable, interesting and relevant research ideas that you can take forward. I will also be giving you a very brief outline to Clinical Placement 2, which starts next week. Now, Sue Cutler would have liked to have introduced herself and the module to you, but unfortunately Sue isn't able to do so, as she is currently involved in lots of first year BSc induction activities at the moment, which means she won't be around to see you all. But don't fear, though, Sue Cutler will look after you really, really well. The Clinical Placement 2 module regularly gets excellent feedback because of the level of support you receive from Sue. Sue is also renowned for knocking out some excellent audio podcasts, so you won't feel lonely or isolated. I think you'll really enjoy them. Well, the time has finally come to say goodbye to you all and hand over the baton of radiography to the lovely Sue Cutler. It's been a real pleasure supporting you all through your first clinical placement. Just reflect on how well you have all done and how far you have all come in only 9 months. It's a fantastic achievement. You should all be very proud. I'm certainly very proud of you all. So, without further ado, good luck with Clinical Placement 2 and take care. Bye-bye for now. Anyway, enough of me wittering on. Firstly, I wanted to remind you about the end of programme meeting that's to be held on Friday the 26th of September between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in H1.16. You will need to bring in your original signed copies of your clinical competencies. Make sure that you get a photocopy for your own records. If you haven't yet managed to get all of your competencies signed off, for example, because you have time to make up, we can arrange a short extension. So don't worry, and we can discuss this on Friday. Now, Mark Widderfield and I will be asking all of you to evaluate the Clinical Placement 3 module, the SRI module, and the CRI module 2. So if you can put your thinking caps on, please. We'll be getting you to think about any positive aspects of the modules, any negative aspects, and also any suggestions for improvement. We will also be getting you to evaluate the whole diagnostic radiography program that you've just completed. So any feedback will be really useful. I will also be asking you to decide on whether you are staying on to complete the MSc or are stepping off at postgraduate diploma. Now, for those of you that are stepping off, I'll be asking you to provide me with some details of your first post as a radiographer, as we need to be able to feed this information back to our course commissioners. Now, the meeting on Friday will be an excellent opportunity for those of you stepping off to say a fond goodbye to those who are staying on to complete the MSc dissertation. Well, the time has come to say goodbye to those of you who are stepping off, and to wish you the very best of luck for your future career as a diagnostic radiographer. It has been genuinely lovely to see you all develop over the last 18 months or so. It's been a real pleasure supporting you all through your postgraduate diploma. The same goes for the rest of the team. You should all be very proud of what you have achieved, and I'm certainly proud of you all, and I'm expecting great things of you in the future. So, good luck and take care. I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye for now.